All right, so this is just some safety points. This is the first hub of experiments that you do in Mission Superchill. We have the rubber ball, the silicone tubing, and the nylon webbing. So first we're going to take a look at the rubber ball. That is the first to come out of the nitrogen. And this can trap nitrogen in it, so you want to make sure that you tap it in a couple of different directions. These little seeds of rubber do allow nitrogen in there, so you want to make sure that doesn't get on your glove. And then you'll go ahead and shatter this. Next up is that silicone tubing. Oops. This does collect nitrogen, so you want to grab it with the tongs and make sure both sides are emptied before you grab it and do your experiment. And then lastly, the nylon webbing. This is by far the coldest experiment that we do. You will feel this a little bit through the gloves, so you want to make extra sure there's no nitrogen on the webbing. So you want to grab it, and then with your fingers grab a very end, and then use the tongs to scrape off any nitrogen that may be left on the nylon webbing. And then I just hold it very briefly to show that it's strong and flexible before putting it down again, because this is an experiment you can feel through your gloves even if there is no liquid nitrogen on it. So when you're switching from the first tub of experiments to the second tub, you're going to stop using that glass dewar and transfer the liquid nitrogen back into the plastic dewar. You do want to make sure that you are pouring over this left side here. You don't want the nitrogen to go over these two white clips. That it just increases your spill risk. So I grab two of these poles that we have here on opposite sides and pour like so. And take your time when you're pouring the nitrogen. And that is how it's done. So this is the vacuum chamber experiment where we make solid nitrogen. So for this one, the key is really slowly pouring into our little black cup here. If we pour too quickly, we can break the seal on the vacuum chamber. It just won't create that good seal, and you won't get solid nitrogen. So we're just going to pour in very, very slowly. And I just do little bits at a time. All right, and it looks like that is about as full as it's going to get. So we just set this on, and we're ready to make solid nitrogen. So this is the geyser experiment, the final experiment in Mission Superchill. This is by far the most dangerous experiment, so you want to make sure you go through all of these safety points. The first safety point is to have this little nozzle pointing away from you and away from the audience, so have it pointing off to your left. And then when you're pouring the nitrogen, you'll use the funnel. Now, as it says in your liquid nitrogen certification, liquid nitrogen has the tendency to splash and slosh. So you want to make sure that you aim right towards the center of the funnel and pour slowly. Now, we do have a point at which we want you to fill the geyser up to create kind of the ultimate geyser, and that is right halfway up this square. So when you're setting off the geyser, I turn the funnel upside down, grab the geyser cork with one finger on each side. Make sure that this is pointing away from the audience. Put your finger over it. And then get that ready. You'll do your countdown while you have your foot over the foot pedal. And you'll go 5, 4, 3, 2. And at 1, press the foot pedal and set off the geyser. Now you don't want to have a lot of pressure on this cork because of the pressure buildup, just enough so that it's staying in the flask. Once you're done with the geyser, you'll set it down, immediately take out the cork and set it in the funnel, just to make sure that there won't be any liquid nitrogen flowing out once you're done with that geyser experiment.